Really a quick one. I'd like to ask you a few questions in regards to the finance bill and the appropriations bill.
Yes, go on.
How does the finance bill impact taxation in Kenya?
Now, a finance bill basically is a bill that proposes amendments to the various taxation laws, and is upon them after it has been passed that now the amendments are carried out on the taxation laws for the government to be able to tax.
Can the finance bill be amended during parliamentary debates, and if so, how?
Yes, the finance bill can be amended during parliamentary debates. If you can remember, just like any other bill that goes through various stages in parliament, the bill is amended at the third stage, where the clauses are read, any amendments proposed and voted upon. And if passed by the National Assembly, then they form part of the bill to be taken to the president for assent or otherwise.
How does the finance bill affect businesses in Kenya?
Businesses don't operate in a vacuum. And normally, the main source of revenue for the government is taxation. And this taxation comes from businesses. So a finance bill, once assented into an act, is what now determines what amount of taxes each business pays and the regulations thereof in terms of taxation.
What is the difference between the finance bill and the appropriations bill in Kenya?
Now, as indicated earlier, finance bill is a bill that tells the government how to collect its revenue. An appropriations bill, on the other hand, is a bill that shows how the revenue collected will be spent by the government. Popularly in Kenya, it's known as the budget.
Why is the Appropriations Act important for the Kenyan government?
The Appropriations Act is important because it is what, like I've said, is the budget. And the government is not permitted to spend anything out of the budget. So whatever the government wants to spend on must be contained in the Appropriation Act.
Okay, who drafts the appropriations bill in Kenya?
The appropriations bill is drafted by the National Treasury and presented to Parliament, that is the National Assembly, through the Cabinet Secretary responsible for finance.
What is the process for the Appropriations Act to become law in Kenya? Sorry, for the Appropriations Bill to become law in Kenya?
Now, the bill, as indicated, is drafted by the National Treasury, presented to Parliament in form of a budget speech by the Cabinet Secretary responsible for finance. Then it goes through the normal parliamentary process, that is the first reading done by the CS. We have the second reading, and we have the third reading, after which, if the members agree with it, then it becomes it's passed and it's taken to the president for assent into an act.
How does the Appropriations Act ensure accountability in government spending?
The Appropriations Act ensures accountability because it is a budget, and it ensures that the government can only spend on what has been passed by Parliament through the Appropriations Act as a budget, and thereby reducing the chances of the government spending on things that were not agreed upon by the Parliament.
Finally, how do changes in the Finance Act affect ordinary citizens in Kenya?
Now, Finance Act, I can say again, depends on taxation. Taxation has a direct impact on the citizens because if a tax is added onto a commodity, let's say bread, if we add VAT on bread, the cost of bread will have to go up. And therefore, the ordinary citizen, the common mwananchi in the streets of Nairobi, will have to pay more to be able to afford the bread. And vice versa, if any taxation is removed or is zero-rated, then the price is expected to come down, and the common mwananchi again should benefit and get these commodities at a cheaper price.
Okay, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Have a good day.
Asante.